Hi guys, right, so following yesterday's England's Strongest Man, I thought I'd do a little recap of how I thought the show went, what I expected from myself and how I think I performed overall. So I managed to get back on the podium after obviously what has been a huge injury, coming back from rupturing my adductor, and then finding out that I also had a hernia, so I had a double surgery. So this has been 7 months in the making, obviously recovering. I decided to take England's about 8 weeks ago. So I found out the events, thought they could be pretty good for me. The way I was feeling with my recovery, I thought, why not give it a go? If I was going to lose my title, I thought I'd rather turn up if capable on the day and at least fight for it. So I finished with a third place. This means as much to me nearly as winning it last year, all circumstances considered. So the lineup this year we had was, in my opinion, the best lineup I've seen in England's Strongest Man, especially in the 4 years that I've been competing in it. So just to run through the athletes, we had Graham Hicks, Ryan Bennett, Andrew Flynn, Paddy Haynes, Ben Glasscock, Jack Osborne, Paul Smith, Zach Hill, Dan McNichols, Dean Mason, and Tom Owens, and obviously myself. So event one, we had the deadlift ladder. My best deadlift in training was 370 kilos, which wasn't a max, but it was sort of a sub-maximal weight. So going into this event, I was thinking if I can finish the ladder, that would be very good for me. 380 at the end of a ladder, you've got to be pulling over 400 kilos for maximal singles to even have a chance of getting that, in my opinion. So I was a pretty much 30% that I was going to get the rep on the last one. So the focus was a fast three. I think six of us finished. Me having the slowest to hit all four in 38 seconds. However, I believe if I'd just gone for a fast three, I would have had the fastest three. So sixth place was my position. That wouldn't have changed whether I got the last bar or not. So top three on that, we had Graham Hicks, Ryan Bennett, and Andy Flynn. So all putting in pretty decent times. Graham being 11 seconds ahead of second place. So I felt like I had to get that event out of the way. It's my first event first show since competing, since getting injured. So just to get that out of the way, it sort of settled the little nerves I did have. I wasn't totally not nervous going into this show, but I was pretty confident in my ability. Otherwise, I wouldn't have turned up. So sixth place from the first event, which then took us into the shield carry. So a 200 kilo shield. I have never touched a shield like this before in competition either. The closest I've come is I did a 170 kilo Husafel sandbag for distance, but it was on a beach, so it was very sandy. It was totally different. I think I did like 38 meters then. Disadvantage I have on this event is, one, I've not touched the equipment. Two, a lot of guys can interlock their fingers around the shield. Me having little short T-Rex arms was a bit of a problem for me. So I was just Zercher carrying it essentially. I think what I hit on that was I did 44.16 meters. So in my head, I thought if I could hit 40, that'd be amazing. So I got to the turn, I seen the mark for the next guy in front of me, and I managed just to pip it by a couple of meters. Also falling 2 meters short of Paul Smith, who got 46 meters. The next guy from that was Ben Glasscock, and he hit like 58 and a half meters. So I was never going to get anywhere close to that. So I felt like the shield was going to be a damage limitation for me. And I came fifth on that event. So for me, I felt that was an overperformance, and I felt very happy with how that went. Since my injury, I was about 155 kilos when I got hurt. I came into the show at 140, so I was a lot fitter. I could move a bit better, purposely for the show as well, because there are quite a few moving events as well. So I think that probably helped me a bit more in the shield, being a bit lighter. And looking at this lineup, it was the lighter guys that tended to do better on it as well. Event three, we had the super yoke, so 420 kilos for 20 meters. Now, historically, yoke has always been a good event for me. I've never done badly on it. I happened to win this event. I did it in 14.02 seconds. and I dropped it as well. So I was lucky that I still managed to get away with that. Paddy came in 0.25 of a second behind me, and then Andy Flynn just over half a second behind me as well. So it was very close on that event. But even with the drop, I managed to sort of pip it and win it. I felt like when I took off, I almost set off too fast. So I took a few steps and I just went down with it. But I didn't panic. I reset, I picked it back up, and I kept on going. So managed to win that event, which then landed me in... I was then sat in third on 27 points after event 3. So we had Paddy on 32, we had Andy on 31, myself on 27, and then Ben and Graham Hicks were sat just behind us with 23 points, joint 4th. So I was in a kind of a good spot. Event 4, we actually moved on to the log press. So anyone that's followed will know that it was the log press was the event I was doing 3 weeks out from Britain's Strongest Man. I pressed a pretty maximal log for me. It was 170 kilos. It was about 10 kilos off my all-time best. I did it for a double, and on the second rep, my adductor just let go. Full rupture. Adductor longus completely off the pelvis. The adductor magnus was bruised, and the adductor brevis had a 10 by 4 centimetre belly tear in it as well. So I basically blew my leg up. So this event was probably the one that I felt, or people would feel that I'd probably been most nervous going into, but actually I've trained logs so much since then, building that confidence in the gym. So going into this event, I didn't post anything, but I hit 5 reps in training, which matched my best ever with this weight. So I was hoping that 4 events in a pretty heavy show, if I could hit 4 reps, I would have felt like that was good for me. And I actually overperformed on this. I actually pressed it 7 times, but I got 6 reps. So first rep was taken away, and rightly so, it wasn't a good rep. So I finished on 6, which actually tied me for second place with 4 guys, I think, or 4 including me. So we had Andy Flynn, Ben, Paul, and myself all hitting 6 reps, and then Jack Osborne was just miles ahead, Vipered 9, because he's a weirdo. Super strong in the shoulders. It's absolutely insane watching him. He made it effortless as well. So yeah, that was good for me. We all split the points, but second place, that then kept me in third place. So I was on 36.5 points. Paddy was in second on 38, and then Andy Flynn pulled ahead, 40.5 points. And then Ben Glasscock was sat in 4 points behind me. So it was, at this point, with 1 event to go, it was pretty clear that between the top 4, it was going to be maybe a mixture of us on the podium, just depending on how sandbags would go. Again, in the past, sandbags, it's not an event I love, but it's always one that I've been fairly good on. And obviously, being the last event, it's not a nice event to do a loaded medley on the end, but we were all pretty amped up, and it made for a good finish, put it that way. It was very close with some of the races. I actually went against Ben Glasscock, so I know Ben is very good at loading races. I feel like I can pick the bag off the floor faster than he can, but he can just cover ground so much quicker than I can, and his fitness compared to mine is a lot better as well. So Ben was a really good pace setter for me. He pipped me. He got me by, I think, about a second or maybe 2 seconds on the final load. So then it was between Paddy and Andy on the last event, and Paddy went on and he won the sandbag. So fair play to Paddy, he put in a very good time. He did 32 seconds, followed by Ben, who was on 35. And unfortunately for Andy Flynn, I got him between him and Ben by 0.12 seconds, which actually cost Andy the title by half a point. So Paddy just snuck him on the end. But I finished in third on that event. So in total, I had 6th on the deadlift, 5th on the shield, 1st on the yoke, 2nd on the log, joint 2nd tied, and 3rd on the sandbag, which secured me my 4th podium at England's Strongest Man. Luckily enough, I've managed to podium at every England's I've done, so that was my main goal. Going into the show, if I'd hit top 6, I would have felt that would have been an incredible day for me. But to squeeze onto the podium, after this injury, obviously a lot of people probably had written me off, didn't think that I had the time to recover. But like I said before, I wouldn't have even took this show if I didn't think that I would be competitive. I'm not here to make up numbers. I gave myself time. I saw how my training was going, and as we got like weeks from the show, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give it a go. Like I said, I want to defend my title. If I lose it, I'll be the first man to shake the hand of the guy who takes it from me. But I was happy to get through the show in one piece more than anything. Also, going into the last event, Mr. Neil Pickup introduced me, and one of the best things I could probably say I've ever had in my strongman career so far is I got a standing ovation from the crowd who was supporting that. Obviously, how quick I've come back, and all gave me sort of a round of applause and cheered for me, and that actually it got me a little bit choked up for the first time ever in my strongman career. So doing that before that last event, it just gave me that extra gear I needed to find, and yeah, I was very, very grateful to everyone who came to watch us that night as well. So yeah, first show back, I could not have asked for a better comeback show. I made the podium. I still feel like a winner. Do you know what I mean? It's been a hard road to get back to being competitive at this level, and it's not necessarily been as long as I thought it was, but I've put in a lot of work. I've had a great physio with Dr. Peter Lundgren. I've got Tom Hibbert who's coaching me. I've had some great physios around Weymouth as well who sort of helped me out with my deep tissue. So there's a lot that's gone into it as well. So it's not just, although I'm calling this a win for myself, it's not just a win for me. It's a win for everyone that's helped me as well, and everyone that's supported me and sent me messages and sort of helped me get back to where I am now. So moving on from this, I'm getting a lot of questions of what I want to do next or what I will be doing next. And to be honest with you, now this is out of the way, I think we need to go back to the drawing board a little bit and just carry on building on what we've already done. So I've qualified for Britain's Strongest Man again, which will be January, February next year. So that's probably going to be my next show. I've got a long run up for it, and I really want to come back there and do well. So I've been top 5 at every Brits I've ever done. Obviously this year I had to miss out due to injury, but I want to come back in 2026 and I want to have a chance of being on the podium at Britain's Strongest Man. So to do that, I need to sort of step back, not rush into doing back-to-back shows every weekend like I've done for the last 3 years, which may be a contributing factor into why I got injured, who knows. But I want a good run up at it, and I feel that if I'm back to where I was or better, I can be a threat at Britain's Strongest Man. I can definitely steal points. So that's going to be it probably, unless anything comes up in between then. Britain's Strongest Man will be my next show. So yeah, that's sort of it. That's all I wanted to cover while it was fresh in my head. I just sort of wanted to get it out how I was feeling about it. And yeah, again, thank you to everyone that came to watch us, and I'll see you at Britain's Strongest Man in 2026.